Hey everybody, in today's video we're going to make 10 fence board Christmas trees with 20 lights in each of them. So I picked up this 1x8 cedar fence board from the hardware store. Uh-oh, that's a rotten, that one. What I'm going to do is cut them in half. You guys can use old fence boards. You can use 1x10, 1x12, whatever you want to do. You can use any type of wood. I happen to have Western red cedar here, so that's what I'm using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook these boards up in my jaw horse here, and then cut them with a chainsaw. Cut them in half. Okay, like I said, these boards are 1x8 by 5 feet long, so I just marked them 2.5 feet each. So I got this chainsaw. You guys, if you don't have chainsaw, if you don't have bandsaw, you can use your jigsaw. I've made lots of trees with the jigsaws. Okay, so now we're going to draw them out. Then we're going to put them on our big bandsaw there, Spike, and cut them out. Okay, so I'll always use the pre-cut bottom of the board because I already know it's square. So let's see here. We got is this thing in camera here? Yeah. So we got let's make this the bottom of our tree like this. This will be our tree trunk. And let's give this one let's make this one like it's blowing over. So we'll start up here. Whew. That looks pretty good to me. We can make it a little bit bigger if we want. Okay, so there's one drawn out. Let's put the next one on. Let's do a straight tree. Okay, so the bottom of our tree here, our trunk. Okay, we'll put a center line here. Whew. I like the top of my trees to be really thinner, like pretty thin. So we can make this a little bit bigger. There you go, so I'll cut on these lines. Okay, so I'll get all these drawn on, and then we'll go over to the bandsaw and cut them out. Like I said, you can also use a jigsaw. Okay, so we got all our trees drawn out. Let's fire up the bandsaw. You guys, if you're using a bandsaw or any type of power saw, be very careful, know what you're doing. Okay, so here's the first tree cut out with the bandsaw. Now let's just carry on. I'll cut out the other ones too. Okay, you can see all our trees are cut here. We have all those scraps. Now I'm going to show you how to make one of these scraps as the base. Okay? So let's grab this one right out here. Okay. Okay, so you got this multi-purpose square. All you do, you know this bottom square, right? Square it up here. Tilt it back a little bit. Get your pen. Mark it on. Do it a couple of spots. Now that's tilted back, so when this is on when you hot glue this onto the back of the tree is going to be leaning back a bit and it stands no problem. I'm going to cut these two out just to show you what I mean, but I have thicker wood here that I'm going to be using for the bases, but you can see this one's tilted back a bit. This is it's 2 inches thick. See how the tree can lean back? Hot glue it on the back of the tree. Okay, so you have your tree, you have your backing. So when you're done carving this, you'll glue this to the tree, this piece that's tilted back, And boof, there's your tree stand. Abracadabra. Boof, Ben, boof. It's really not a nice day here at all. Pissing rain. Anyways, carry on. Okay, so here's my tree here. Now I know that I got 20 Christmas lights to put in this, so I got to drill 20 holes with the proper, this is a 1/4 inch drill bit. You see how table's already wrecked anyways. Just like that, 20 holes, okay? Now I'll do the rest. Okay, so I got all my trees drilled. It took me about 5 minutes. If you're lazy like me, you'll have a good idea. You know what they say? Laziest man has the best ideas. Okay, so I got one of the trees set up in my jaw horse, right? I'm going to pull out my electric chainsaw. You guys, if you have like a grinder with a sanding disc on it or one of those Kutzall discs, I want to make this edge not square so it's less work for your Dremel, right? So I'm going to 45 this, 45 or whatever it is. I'm just going to take it down a bit lower. So that angle's already there. That's a lot less work for me to carve when I get home. I don't have any square points I need to round. I hope that makes sense for you guys. Okay, let me show you a better angle. See now there's no square edge there? I sliced it off. Now that's a lot less carving with the Dremel because this Dremel carving can get really repetitive. Okay, I want to give the people with a chainsaw that are going to be doing this edge with the chainsaw, see it's still square here. So sometimes when you put your piece in your vise, right, clamp it down. Okay, sometimes when you're up here, when you're up at the top hitting it with your chainsaw, it vibrates. This whole thing vibrates, and I'll show you how to avoid that. What I do anyways, I just push my bottom of my chainsaw tight and I hold the tree with it, okay? I need to tighten this chain a bit. But so instead of just going like this, and you hear it vibrating, you can break it, you can crack it. Just hold your saw there tight. Okay, simple. Okay, let's give you a better example full screen. So you got this lip right here on your saw. Just push it tight to the tree, hold it tight. Once you start getting closer to the vise, it won't rattle so much, right? So just, you only really need to do that for the top. Okay, everybody, like I said, you can do this with your chainsaw, you can do this with a jigsaw, you can do this with your bandsaw, you can even do it with a handsaw. So, you see how I rounded these edges now? Because the more work that you do here at your bigger carving station or whatever in your backyard, the more work you do with your bigger tools, the faster it's going to go when you do your Dremel carving and you got to carve in the branches and stuff like that. So try and get this kind of stuff done with your bigger tools. Time is money. Okay, so I'm timing myself for these 10 trees to see how long I know it's going to take me. It's better to do, like Ben's studio at the lakes, it's better to do 10 than one at a time. If you do one at a time, when you're making these things to make money, well, you're going to maybe do one tree in an hour, right? So let's see what how many I can make and how many hours it takes me. I'm at about an hour so far. So okay, so now I'm going to take these home, go up to my Dremel carving room and eat some cookies and carve some Christmas trees.